I'll go over a few points here just so everyone understands. I mean, it's amazing to me every time someone wins the story they tell me. I'm actually working on the one up in Region 4 because they just found it, and their story's incredible too. The way people are finding these things, it's always just an adventure for me. And so I just get a notification no matter what I'm doing, like lamp found. I have to stop and go, call them right now before they leave. So this one was interesting, very interesting. And as this company grows, we're going to run into this left and right. So this is not going to stop. We're going to run into things because we're brand new, and everything we're doing, no one's done it before. So what happened, I pieced it together later, was you're going to meet someone here from the trail system, Laura Ringo, and her and Alan Smith, the CEO of the chamber. They helped me find a place to hide it, and the place was where they found it. So it was under this bridge on the River Birch Trail, and so it was a great spot. And Chad and I came here, and Laura blocked the trail and was the lookout for us. And so we tucked it in on one of the rafters there, and we put a brace in there, and we painted it so it would match. It was really dark, and it was a perfect slot, and we thought it'd be there still right now. We did that in December of 2023. Little known for all you people. We aren't hiding these things the week before, we're hiding them the year before. Because we launched in January and I didn't know how many I was going to launch, but I had to have them all hidden. So I had 10 hidden when January came, right? So we did that in 2023. In April, we hadn't launched this region, but I had to create the QR code in December to bring it with me to stick it on the box. So I didn't know how I was going to activate it. So I just put it in season 1. So on the code, it says season 1. That's why when they scanned it, it said inactive. All these details, guess what? I'm one guy, I missed that one. But when they're scanning, it said congratulations, but this lamp's inactive. Well, it was the only lamp in Region 10. I just didn't think that far ahead that when I activated in July of the next year, I should have, in the background of the engineering, the technology, they should have switched that so it would have worked for them. That's the only reason the code didn't work, right? So anyways, we stuck it in there December. April, Laura Ringo from the trail program sends me a video. I didn't even know I had a video until this morning. I thought I had just a photo, but I was looking through it this morning. You actually sent me a video. There was a flood, and it went over the bridge in the part that we had put the lamp in. So it literally, she's like, I'm sorry, there's a really 100-year flood going on, and your lamp's probably gone. I'm like, oh man, are you kidding me? So when it went down, Laura went out there and she couldn't find it. And I sent her photos, and then she found it. It was exactly where we left it. So it was still there. But the brace I'd put in there had kind of fallen like this. So she tried her best, crawled under there, and tried to get the brace back in there. And it still wasn't quite solid, but it was good enough. Like if the flood doesn't take it out, it's going to be fine. So let's activate it in July, which we did. And when Melissa and Tyler found it, imagine in my head, I'm thinking, how would they find this thing? You'd have to lay on your back and look backwards to see it. There's no way, more clues would have to come out to find this thing. There's just no way. Even the rangefinder only gets you within 100 miles. It's like there's no way anyone's finding this thing until more clues come out, and they crack the poem. So when she said how she found it, she's like, I went on the right side of the bridge and da-da-da-da-da, and I looked down and I'm like, what? What do you mean you looked down? She goes, yeah, I was sitting right there. I'm like, on the ground? And she's like, yeah. There was a storm you guys had here in Spartanburg for a day or two before that, and it just fell out. It landed on the ground. So when this family came along, which could have been any treasure hunter, I would have done the same thing. They didn't break any rules. There was no reason to be disqualified. It didn't change the game because where it fell was exactly the same spot everything was driving you to. The only thing that changed was it was easier for any treasure hunter to find. That's the change. It didn't help me. It wasn't my advantage. It was the advantage of all the paying treasure hunters. It was their advantage. And that was Mother Nature's doing, and there was no way I was going to penalize them. And I would have done the same thing for any treasure hunter that won. I would have vetted them, didn't break the rules, followed the rules. You got the footage, you got the proof. Mother Nature intervened. That's fate, people. I'm not that big. When fate says this family's coming along at that hour, and I don't know if it was 5 minutes before they came, an hour, a day, whatever, but there it was sitting. But it was shocking to me and my wife and our partners, like, how could it have been found? I said, apparently it wasn't in the slot, it was on the ground. So that's how that happened, okay? And the other piece of this puzzle is the security camera. So it got lost in the flood, or it got flooded, I would say, wet. And then Laura went and dried it and put batteries in it, got it working again. And then somewhere in the process, somebody stole it. I'm going to tell you something as a guy who's building a brand new company that never existed before. These are challenges I'm going to face for the next 10 years. Okay, I'm going to run into this. Oh, what? The box fell out because of a flood? Oh, somebody stole our camera? Oh, you cannot believe the things I'm dealing with on a daily basis because this is a brand new company. Like no one's ever done anything quite like this. So none of those things are their fault. Let's get that clear. These people solved the poem, risked their last dollar, came down here, thought it was an eye doctor, went to Willie's Tacos, looked all over, even back in the dumpsters, found the trail, mother's intuition, 10 more minutes, right?
It is.
There's no stopping a mom who's trying to save her family, says that she needs $1 million. She's going to get it. I'm not going to stop her. So anyways, that is pretty much the factors. And there's factors in every one of these that I've had to deal with. And this is not any different, really. It's just I didn't expect it to be found this fast. I didn't count on the flood. I didn't count on it falling out. And I certainly didn't count on people stealing our camera. So, and it wasn't in Wi-Fi because it was remote, so we didn't know it was gone. Right? It was a trail cam, so you have to go physically check those, and we don't live here. So anyways, all that was on our part, and they just happened to be the fortunate people who gained a little bit. But I just want to be clear, it was this much luck, and it was this much work. Okay? They left their house in Beaufort and drove down here without very much money and took the risk, right? And you said, at least we'll have an adventure with our family.
I literally, as we... when we were walking back from going left, right before we had gone right, I told everybody, I said, you know what? This is what Dirk wanted. I was watching watching one of his videos, and he said, I just want people to get out, be with their family, go do something, get off the couch. And I said, you know what?
We're doing it.
This is a really pretty trail. I say I'll chalk that up to a win. And then, 2 minutes later.
It was a pretty big hike. So background, little piece of information. One of my other companies was an adventure company where I used to take people in the wilderness. That business is why I'm in Spartanburg. I'll tell you in a minute, but there's a person in the room that went on my trips with me in the wilderness twice, him and his family from Spartanburg, which brought me here. But to Melissa's point, adventure is what I live for. I owned an adventure company. I was a river guide. So between being an outfitter and guide, 30 years of my life was spent outdoors. So you think I'm a guy that wants people on their phone? No, I'm a guy who wants people out with their family, their loved ones, treasure hunting. This is awesome to see these families out there videoing themselves. So now you know the story. We're going to move along because now we're going to reveal what they chose. This family gets to choose, the Cheshire family from Beaufort, South Carolina gets to choose either $1 million cash or 3 wishes worth $1.2 million, but the third wish has to be for someone else. So we're going to let you guys decide your decision making, and then what did you decide?
We chose the wishes.
Did you think about it, debate it?
We did. It was actually a lot of debate because there's so much that goes into it. There's tax considerations. Do we want something right now? Do we want something in the future? Are we just going to invest it? There was a lot that went into it, but we ultimately decided that the 3 wishes was the best for us. And also in the spirit of the game and in the spirit of winning it, that mattered to us too. Yeah. We wanted the whole treasure experience and the lamp experience.
Yeah.
Like cash wouldn't feel as magical.
It doesn't feel as magical. No, I want to feel like the genie granted my wish of saving our family. And he did.
Let's hear what you chose. What's your first wish?
All right. So our first wish is a vacation/investment condo in Orlando, Florida. So we love to go to Disney World. We have a problem. It's also why we chose South Carolina, because we didn't want to live in Florida, but we could drive to Disney World from here. Mm-hmm. Also, we have family in St. Petersburg, mm-hmm. and his grandparents are going to start needing a little bit more help, and his aunt and uncle can't really
do it all by themselves.
Yeah, so this gives us a chance to go on vacations, help family, and then also make some money on the side.
So it's an investment property.
It's a really cool place. It's called The Grove. They have a water park, a lazy river. They have other pools and hot tubs for, people that don't want to have screaming kids around them. They have an arcade, glow in the dark, mini golf, beautiful, beautiful rooms. They have, full kitchens and bedrooms and washers and dryers, which if you go to Disney, washer and dryers, you need that.
Yes.
So
So that was
All
that
right.
one.
So wish number one is an investment property. It's a condo in Florida, Orlando, Florida.
Orlando.
Wish number two is
we would like a 5-bedroom forever home here in South Carolina to really set some roots down and let our kids grow up in one place.
We were supposed to get a house when we moved out here, and
We thought that dream had
yeah, we
died.
thought that dream was squashed, and we get to get it back. Thank you.
so they're renting right now, and we are in progress. We're going to help them find a home. It's real estate takes a while. I don't do it in 6 weeks, people, but they will get their home and their condo. Real estate deals just take a few more months, but those are their two wishes for themselves. So what a great thing. Income property, which they will need long term, and then their own home that'll be paid off.
Yes. No mortgage payment.
Good two wishes, right?
Never have my house threatened again, because that's why we left Colorado. As our mortgage was,
Yeah, the property taxes had driven it
it was astronomical. We couldn't
way too
afford it.
high.
Yeah. So our wish number three, we did ask Dirk we did have his permission, because at the last minute I kind of pulled an audible, and I said, oh, hold on. I really want to give a donation to this company that you'll hear about in a second, but I need you to let me help somebody else. So part one of wish number three is an organization called HER. It's the Hyperemesis Education and Research Foundation. They are the only foundation that provides money for research and provides women with help. So if you don't know what hyperemesis gravidarum is, it's a really horrific condition in pregnancy. I would throw up between 25 and 75 times a day. I had to have PICC lines in my arms when I was pregnant, and Tyler would run my own IVs. And it was just, so means a lot to me to donate to them so that there can be more money for the funding. A couple years ago, they found out it was genetic. So it means a lot to me that I have a daughter, and the chances of her getting it are really high. And I don't want her to have to go through what I did, because I fought for my life. So I would love to help some other women not have to go through such misery, hopefully.
Oh, what, right there. She had sent me other photos that were a little too graphic for this happy moment, but she really almost lost her life through some of this. It was really bad. So I chose not to use those pictures for the press, but this means a lot to her, and now she gets to give back.
Yeah. Now, would it be okay if I brought them up?
Yeah, go for it.
Mom and Dad, can you please come here? Did he see that? Do you want to let him see it real quick while I tell everybody? So these two right here,
Yes.
these two right here have been our rock. Anytime anything ever goes wrong, they're always there to help us. They do whatever they can. Can you take over for a minute, please?
Yeah. So they've been there for us. They helped us, with all the stuff of moving your family across country, and just over the years, they've always been there for us. And
Drove a car because we had two decent vehicles, and right before we moved from Colorado, a drunk driver totaled his car, and we weren't able to get a new one, obviously. And she just drove up my grandma's car that she didn't need anymore. Literally just drove it up. She
A
flew
couple
home
days ago.
on Monday, and then last Monday, and then flew back for this. So they are there for us all the time. So we want to give them their very own wish.
That's sweet of you. Thank you, dear.
I'll give to you. I'll give to you.
So they changed the rules on me. I try to make the third wish for one thing, and then she, as you can see, she's very convincing. So Melissa got a hold of me late at night and said, is there any way I could split the third wish and give some to my parents? And what was I going to say? I'm all about spreading the wealth. So I said, go ahead. So that's what they're going to do. They're going to take some money, some of the cash, and they're going to split it between the HER Foundation and their parents. So good job.